Video from my August 9th, 2014 dive on the Eureka Rig and Olympic 2. This shot is of me actually on my back looking up into the surface, and you can see the sheer number of bait fish that were on both of the rigs. I thought this was kind of a neat way of putting into perspective just how many there really were. A more up-close view of the bait fish. I'm guessing these are little anchovies. And this is the cross beams, about 50 feet. I come up and you can see JP here, and we're absolutely surrounded by fish. This is us doing the safety stop, and as you can see, we're in the middle of the bait ball. This happened last time I was on the rigs, but the visibility was much better here. This happens to be the Eureka Rig. Now we're on the Ellie rig, which is one of the two twins a couple hundred yards from the Eureka. This was a rockfish that was hiding amongst the scallops. It looks like his bottom jaw might be torn from a fisherman. There you can see a scallop. This was a gigantic sea star that I saw on the superstructure of the rig. I'll put my hand in for some perspective of its size. So with its arms spread out, it could easily wrap around the front of my chest. It must have been eating a scallop. This was a scallop that looked a little bit more traditional, unlike the rock scallops that are covered in Metridium anemones. When I was here a while ago, there were Garibaldi that were breeding, and these, I believe, are the babies. They were all over the place. This was a sheep's head that was following me, that was hiding behind some scallops. The sheep's head and other fish can get quite aggressive. Here's a little worm you can see blossoming out. Andrew also dove on this dive, and apparently he was able to harvest one of the scallops, and the sheep's head took it right out of his hands. You can see I'm being stalked here by this one. This safety stop involved a sea lion and a couple of cormorants fighting over a small fish. I was at 20 feet trying to film this going on at the surface. You can see the fish and the silhouette of the sea lion going back and forth with the cormorants. It was really quite funny. The sea lions were really active today, barking at us when we pulled up. They were even walking along the horizontal bars above the surface. What was kind of neat were there were multiple types of bait balls. You can see a separation of the two. My guess is some of the larger ones are a small mackerel, whereas the smaller ones are anchovies. All in all, it was a beautiful dive and quite successful. I came back with 6 very large scallops.